you've heard it said.
And in that regard, do you have a few short statements on what practice is?
It's a process of recognition, cognition, looking into knowing, knowing what is true, not from the egoic assumptions of it, self-fabricated, created. No, what is true, without ego, without assumptions, without fabrication, without glamorizing anything for oneself, with it empty, clear, void. Getting to the voidness of what it is that is present. See, we can say it's also light. See, what is the light of it? See, who is the light? Who's being the light beyond self? See, who can do that? See, it's a process. It's a process of letting go. A good word that is used is transcending, is moving beyond what your thoughts are, what your feelings are, what your actions are, what your memories are. Letting go forward. Standing free of it in the light of clearness. That's the starting point. It's not the end, maybe not the beginning.
What is considered good practice?
Good practice means you are feeling very good about whatever it is. Feeling good. That means not concerned, not divided, not uptight. Loose, open. See? Okay. All right with things. As it is. The as it isness of it. So, being happy is good practice. See, not because as soon as you get into the causes of happiness, then you've lost happiness. Happiness is causelessness. See.
Can one think they are practicing but not actually be practicing?
That sounds like everyone else you know. And that is by way of egoic assumption, self-assumption. And that may be a step on the path. Begin with self-assumption and then move beyond what you assume yourself to be doing, which may not be as important as you make it out to be. See, maybe doing nothing is the highest order of the moment. It's not about self-reflection, self-assumption, self-mirroring, and self-anything. Self-enjoyment. In truth, there is no self. It's just your consciousness. If you can be consciousness for a couple of seconds, you're doing okay. It is doing okay if it is not attending to its selfness. Can you ever be without selfness? That's a step on the path. Assuming nothing, zero, nada, boom. Just breathing. Or no thought, breathing. Just being, I think, is a useful term. Just being free to be. Free to be. Comfortable, at peace. Okay, there's no agenda. It's good practice. No agendas, no reflections, no images, no thoughts, no feelings, no memories. It's all good practice.
Can one be practicing and not know it?
Everyone is practicing something, but not everyone knows it the same way, or knows it as the same as other people need to know what they're practicing, or how they're being used by mechanical unconscious programs, see, mechanisms, see, mechanisms, self-mechanisms, see, trying to do to be better, worse, this, that, whatever, see, self-building mechanisms, see, ego massaging second mechanisms, see, none of it is what it is. Silence then becomes a useful step on the path to whatever it needs to be for itself, not by way of your history and your karma, but by way of a point of transcension, letting go of what you've been, and know yourself to be, and be willing to be beyond that, completely, radically, infinitely, if you can conceive of that. Be a tree. Can you be a tree?
How can one stay clear of distractions?
Don't believe in them. Don't believe in it. Don't believe in yourself, karma, your self-creations, your patterns. Don't believe in your patterns. Don't believe in your history. See, that's easy to say, hard to do. No history. See.
What is the biggest hurdle that you find with students and their practice?
But there is no hurdle. But seekers are creating hurdles for themselves by the dozens. See? Thinking is a hurdle. See? Thought is a hurdle. Feeling is a hurdle. Emotions are a hurdle. See? These are realities. See? Some say they are planes of consciousness. See? Believing is a hurdle. See, wanting, desiring is a hurdle. All of these wantings, all of these programs, see, that show preoccupation rather than liberation into the moment of nowness. As such. As such.
What does making practice all there is look like?
Well, practice is all there is. See? So it really looks like nothing, but it also looks like everything you do. You see? All there is implies from the context of how it's used here. It is the most important thing. See, that's all there is left to do, is to transcend your suffering. See? So it's all there is. Anybody has any issues or problems or bumps and bruises along the path, it's because of their suffering. And then what it is what they need to practice, undoing the suffering, not suffering. See? So what is not suffering? It's all there is. But you understand the suffering that you create for yourself is all there is. And you can get to what practice is. See? That is the all that ever was and is. See? Same time.
Are there different areas of study in this practice that you speak of?
Just now. Just being present now. That's it. If you come to sit, that's all there is. It's not about talking or thinking or emoting or no. Here it's like neutral, right? Zero. In fact, it's zero. Zero. And when you get to this place, for sure, in the light of what it is, in the clear light of what it is, there's no problems. Aren't any real concerns. Of course, there are always physical concerns, health concerns, the usual, there is that, but not from the point of view of the usual, see, from the point of view of the emptiness of everything that appears, that we say is what is for ourselves, and, there is peace, see, there's peace. And so on the way to peace, you're dealing with yourself meditation on yourself, how you look, what you think about, what you look like to the next person, what everybody else looks like, and how you have your head up everyone's rear end, right? Not knowing, but you know you're doing that, you're okay doing it, and it's a way of life. Where else that could be considered better? For many people. I'm sorry. What else could be better for most people? But that's what they do. That's what they're living. So it's comic, but it's also sad because they're missing this lightness of being, see? This emptiness of radiance, emptiness as light. See? Lightness. I mean, there's no poison, no toxicity, no self sort of destruction in it. See?
Is judgment of self or others part of practice?
Well, it's a part of practice if you know you're not supposed to be doing it. It becomes part of your watching, your self-sabotaging programming. Because there's no self to watch. You see your karmas? How much more of your karmas do you need to see to know that they are what they are? See, the idea is not to be suffering such karma. And that means anything that you're doing, you don't need to suffer unless that's your nature. It's to make suffering of everything and anything you do. So, who you meet or who you don't meet, your mind, what you think and believe, all of that is the same stuff. All of it has to be thrown in the garbage, see, as invalid. Easy to say, hard to do. Because then you have the spiritual people say, who cares? Who cares? So we have eons of who caring to go through before we get to no more caring. No more carrying the burden of self-concern, self-imagery, self-accomplishment, self-anything, and after a while you say, self. Please, don't say that word right. Don't want to know anything about it after all. You get beyond yourself. So you see yourself as this burden when it never was to be that. See? The self is nothing. See? So when we're talking about the happy self, or the happy spirit self, it's no suffering. And yet, because there's no suffering, it can suffer with others, but not for itself as itself.
Is it okay to be skeptical about people, things, and situations in practice?
Well, that's neuroses. That's just plain old neuroses. See, that and a long litany of other things is neuroses. See, anxiety is neuroses. See, uptightness is neurosis. See, concern about other people, worrying about other people, competing with everybody is suffering. See, there's nothing free about it. See, such suffering individuals fill the offices of all of these therapists. See, because they make everybody's business their own business. Isn't your own business enough for you to handle and deal with and utilize and be happy about? Maybe? So, come in.
So would you say with genuine practice that one would act more on intuition, intuitive knowing, intuitive, where to be, who to be with, what to study, what to leave behind, let go of?
It could be intuitive. You could just know. Like when you need to go to a bathroom, you call it intuitive. You just better go when you have to go. And that's the truth of everything. You have to know when you have to do what you have to do. And what you have to do is not suffer everybody and everything that shows up. Not suffer it, include it. They say, yeah, it's okay. This is life. I'm in the universe. I'm in Manhattan. Have you ever been there? There's a lot to absorb. But it's still nothing, See, we're looking at it in terms of appearances. So, Manhattan and big skyscrapers and millions of people. So what? What does that have to do with it? Then the itness, the isness of itness becomes the focus of practice, which then turns out to be nothing. Zero. Zero suffering. That's just its amusement. Zero suffering. Trees. Porch. Also. Zero suffering. Shoo. Transcending neuroses. It doesn't come easy. See? There's getting away from neuroses by every which way that materialists know. See? To hide from neuroses or cover it up or distance themselves from the suffering. But we have to sink and go deeper. See, than that. See, you have to feel that you're ready. Always in the place where your source is. And find your peace with your source. Not your ego, but source. Not your body, source. Not your face and your clothing, but source. Source. What is source to you? See? That when you are with the source, as the source, for the source, by the source, in the source, you're in peace. Some will say that is practice. Some will say that's almost practice, another way to practice. Some will say that's beyond practice. So, to each their own.
So you're saying that practice itself is already working beyond materialism, or it's already recognizing one's own relationship with the material world.
Well, we are originally spirit souls, so that's always the case. That's never doubted. You are a living spirit, healthy or unhealthy, whatever. You're a living spirit. What you do with it is relative to how much you want to get out of it. See? And we know that the spirit, this, the essence, the light itself, is what enables everything else to be that you call materialism, or everybody calls materialism. Whatever's built up on it would have no existence if it weren't for its source, which is immaterial. The immaterial source of all this is what it is. That's a paradox of the true soul in one.